give me back a picture, please? Okay, now we're using anatomy and things to try to analyze what are we talking about, the breathing skills. Okay, yeah? Thank you. Here, that's fine. Now, this was, all the texts were obviously part of my dissertation, okay? But like I said, I'll translate to you. I'll put out a few things, at least you know. These 45 character, which on the right-hand side, the left-hand columns, right, is the major characters involved. The major characters involved. And here, including with the ancient teachers were telling us about 3 levels of breathing. Okay, yeah. So if I quickly go through it, and then I try to analyze it from the anatomical side, some human science, so we know exactly what we're doing with how we work with what muscle and why does it happen, how does it happen. Okay, yeah, instead of just close your eye and drift into the subconsciousness of the universe. Okay, yeah. Now, so when you say 行气, the first row, so that means 行气 is to moving. So you're moving the internal, the body inside of the internal energy. Now we all know that. Okay, yeah, but how? Yeah. How are you going to move that? How are you going to move the internal energy? So that's why it's very important that you have to understand. So in the ancient term is called tula, tolap. Okay, so around the end of Zhou Dynasty, LaoZi, even in Tao Te Ching, he's talking about 托鱼, right? 托鱼, which is the wind box. Okay, so what do you mean by the wind box or the barrel? Right? English term, the barrel. So you know you have a fire there. You pump air into the fire. What is that air? Oxygen. True. Now, if you go to barbecue, you do your own barbecue. So what you do, you're fanning the fire. Why do you fan the fire? So if you don't fan the fire, there's no oxygen for the fire to burn. And if you fan the fire too much oxygen, well, the food's completely burned, overcooked. So therefore, in the ancient Chinese, the skill to techniques they use to control the temperature of the fire, they call 火候. Is so important. That means don't overdoing it, right? Don't, if it's not enough, give a little bit more. Too much, stop. So it's the control ability, isn't it? Do you know the skill to control that? And that's why when you're breathing, it's the skills, the techniques to control how much oxygen outside the body can go into our lung, right? Oxygen in the blood. So that's also because the movements of that, it pushing. So that's how you move your energy around. Okay, yeah. So isn't it not very, very, technical and important? Yeah. So the second row, it mentioned the other character called me the depth. Okay. Now here I will use the Zhuangzi, 2,600 years ago, something, that time at Zhuangzi and other Taoist teachers, okay? It did mention about the shoulder breathing, I call it, because the shoulder breathing, of course, the shoulder doesn't breathe. So why is it? He was talking about that. So in the script, he was saying, move your shoulder right up to your ear. So the shoulder down here. So of course, you move your up here like this, isn't it? Up and down, isn't it? Now, you can join me while you're sitting there, right? That's how we're experiencing it. Because Neigong, internal training, is because I'm doing things, you cannot see it because it happened inside my body. How can you see it? That's why the ancient Chinese called it, you don't see what happened inside like biochemical reaction, like biological, right? Okay, yeah. So also like a neurological reaction. What about muscular skeletal reaction? You cannot see it. You have to experiencing it. That's why you have to train. So you can just understand the theory, and without methodology, it doesn't work. So you can join me. Okay, very simple. So we'll move it up, right? So when you move up and down the shoulder, Okay, what's happening? Put your hand here. You see the rib move. So your rib moving up and down. Yes. So the rib moves. So now, so also when we can go backward and forward. So there's for 5 essence come in. So you go backward and forward. Okay. Now you can feel it here. So your ribs is moving this way as well, isn't it? Okay. So we are talking about this depth is the ribs. Why is it talking about the ribs? Why? What's it got to do with the ribs? Now, because why? Right? You need that pump to carry the oxygen throughout the body to the organs. So, okay, you can keep pumping it, but this, the machine, the ventilator itself, right? Yeah. Human ventilator, we all got one, because that's why LaoZi talking about 风箱, you know, the 陀语. Is it not a pump? Therefore, Xing Qi Su help myself and a lot of my students really can look after us during the pandemic, I'm telling you. But like I said, I don't want to say anything because people will say that, oh, advertising and this and that. I don't need to, right? Yeah. So if you want, if you like, I can, you know, we can help you. Fair enough. So a lot of these deep breathing, because that means first your rib cages have to be mechanicalized first. If you're all stuck with these mucus, it doesn't move. So even when you pump oxygen into it, the patient still die. So this is how important breathing skills for 4,000 years. That is Xing Qi Su, that is QiGong. So you don't even know anything about what we're talking about. How are you going to talk about the methodology, Gong Fa? And now people say to you, oh, don't worry about breathing, it's natural. Well, you tell the person just now, I tell those people lying in the hospital bed to have natural, just breathe natural. So that's why it is very important. And here it say that the depth of it. Now you can experience yourself. Very simple. Now relax. When you relax, just sit there like me. Try to suck in. Now just suck in one air. Okay. Now you do it. Again. All right, now, what's happening? How do you feel? Something is stuck in there, isn't it? You cannot push anymore. That's your rib cages. Try, please, try experiencing it. Okay? Now, it's the rib cages. They are bones. They're stopping you from more expanding your lung. That's why even your deep breathing had already been confined to a very small area. So that's why when they call it the depth of breathing. Okay, so what happened? Okay, yeah. Now, all you have to do, move this. They call shoulder breathing. It's not the shoulder never breathe. It's the mechanical work, it's the musculoskeletal action of this movement. That means all this connection, you move your ribs. So when you're moving up, okay, your ribs opening upward, your ribs opening upward. And when you're moving back, your ribs expanding that. So that means when you do this and then do that, now you can feel the cavity of your rib cages, and then you relax, you go back to normal. That is Dao Fa Zhi Ran, Dou Fa Jin. The Dao is natural. The Dao itself completely misinterpreted, by a lot of people. Natural, yes, it's natural, but the Dao Fa, the Dao is not natural. The Dao here, particularly now in this second, is our methodology. My Dao, my way, right, is to move this, is an exercise that I'm moving. And then now this is conscious movement. And then finish now, relax. Gravity take everything down. Now that's natural. So even Dao Fa Ji and Dou Fa Jin is the consciousness and the subconsciousness, is conscious movement and subconscious reaction. And even that misinterpretation. So that is why it become a laughing stock. Okay, now we put that into practice. Now I did once, and you can see me. I did the opposite. I just breathe without moving my shoulder. I suck, my air in. Doesn't matter you go through the nose or the mouth, it's still going in, okay? Yeah, so people keep on talking about mouth model. Doesn't matter. If you do the nose, yes, you are connecting directly with the lung, but even you do the mouth, it's not only the lung, it's also your stomach. So they talk about different organs inside, which is benefiting from your breathing movement. So even either through the mouth or the nose, right? People got it wrong. That's the problem. Okay, so if you want to do the both, right? And I open my mouth, what's the difference? So I just suck in the energy now, okay? Yeah, so it got stuck. Okay, limited by my rib cage. Now, so the same, I move it slowly, allowing this interreaction, interlocking, moving my rib cages. Or at the same time, I just suck in. No, that's one breath. Compared to, try it yourself. Try it, compare it. So which exercises, which methodology, which movement will give you more oxygen? Try it. So if you don't even understand this, you're telling me that you're training QiGong. Are you serious? Are you really serious? Now, I didn't make things up. Recording here, 4,000 years old. The depth of it, I mean, the volume of my rib cages, if I can increase the volume of my rib cages and the lung, of course, you got more room, bigger, and the amount of intake of air inside will be much larger, at least 3 times as big. Now, so that's where it comes in, the microcosmic part. Do you know what?